Welcome back to Crown Chats, and for a very special edition episode where we are literally flipping the script and I am answering your questions. So in this special edition of Crown Chats, again, I am answering your questions. I'm on the hot seat. These questions were recently submitted by various followers and viewers of the show, so it was my way to get more of you guys involved and as well as to show my appreciation for your continued support. And why not feature some of our favorite people? So thank you to everybody who submitted questions. And that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Hey Haley, it's Jerry. What I'd like to know from you is who are your favorite Hallmark actor and actresses? Mine are Tyler, Andrew, and Lacey.
Thank you, Jerry, for your question. And little fun fact, Jerry has been on Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Favorite actors and actresses. I feel like this changes all the time. But there have been those consistent ones, even the ones that initially drew me into Hallmark Channel. So the early movies that hooked me in a little over 10 years ago were like because of Candace Cameron Bure, Jodie Sweetin, Jonathan Bennett, Alexa Penna-Vega, Tamara Mowry Housley. Anytime like they were involved, and Bethany Joy Lenz, they were ones that I watched on TV shows or movies growing up. And then from there, it's just kind of snowballed into other people they co-starred with, or just you start to find those little comfort movies. And so my top people that I never miss a movie for would be Sydney Busby, my queen, Jessie Schramm, and Brooke Dorsey, again, and Tamara, and I'm really excited that her mystery series is continuing on. Love Nikki DeLoach, of course, and gosh, there's so many. And then actors, Andrew Walker, Tyler Hynes, Paul Campbell, again, Jonathan always my favorite, and Christopher Palaha, Benjamin Ayers. I'm excited to see more of what BJ Britt does. He's brought like such a fun energy to the channel, and I'm just totally leaving out so many people right now. I feel bad. I love them all, and I will continue to have new favorites, but if I had to pick like top, I'd say like Jonathan Bennett, and then I'll just throw Cindy because she's my queen. That was my dog yawning. Very, very fitting that I was just talking about Cindy because she's also a dog mom. So there you go.
Hi Haley, it's Mackie. I'd love to know, what are your top 3 favorite Hallmark destination movies?
Thank you, Mackie, for your question. I'm getting ready for some summer travels, so this is perfect timing. Top destination movies, or Passport to Love, as we call them on Hallmark Channel. My first one would be Savoring Paris, which is a recent one with Bethany Joy Lenz from last summer, because I'm sorry, what girl doesn't want to go to Paris and have a romantic time and eat a bunch of cheese? And second would be actually the Groomsmen trilogy, if I can count that all as one, just because you get 3 different beautiful locations out of that one. Probably Greece was my favorite one out of those. And then I would say third is 2 Tickets to Paradise with Ashley Williams and Ryan Paevey, because just then I get my beautiful beach, and I loved their chemistry, and I just wanted that huge coconut kind of like fruity drink that she finally gets in the end. But so yeah, a little bit of everything, but so we get some Paris, we get Greece, and then we get our beautiful beach resort. So any of those.
Hey Haley, it's Jane. How did you get involved with Hallmark? And please share most important moments.
Thank you, Jane, for your question. How did I become involved with Hallmark? Involved per se, I just created my own account and put myself out there to an extent. Hallmark has always been a part of my life. I've been a huge fan of the brand and the stores since I was a kid. And then in terms of being crowned the halls or creating this platform, it was just simply to connect with people like you, all the amazing fans and the true community and friendship that is so just deep upon everybody. And so most important moments, it would actually be Christmas Con and having the Christmas experience events where it's fun to connect with celebrities. I love them all as well. But really the best part of all of it is you guys. You guys are my people. Like, that was the most overwhelmingly just touching experience for me. The very first Christmas con I went to, like, it was one of the first places I had ever gone where I just fully felt accepted. I fully felt that I could be myself and I could share and connect with so many of you on something that is so precious to me, which is these movies and what they give us. If it's coping with the loss of someone, if it's just getting through a difficult time, if you just need a little escape and a little release, these movies bring us so much joy and hope and love. And I've never, I was someone who was made fun of, still am, for liking these kind of movies. And I finally found like all my people that also share that with me. And that is the most priceless, irreplaceable, and therefore valuable thing to me, is the friends I have made along the way.
Hi, Haley. It's Steph. I'm just curious how you become an influencer and what got you involved with Hallmark. Thanks.
Thank you, Steph. Would we say I'm an influencer? I don't know. I'm not connected officially with Hallmark in any way. This is just me putting myself out there. I guess how did I create my Crown the Halls account? So I love using social media as a creative space. It's and for connection with wonderful people like you. And it was because of the first time I attended the first time I attended Christmas Con in Kansas City, that I found my people. Like, this is where I've belonged. These were where so many people, I just didn't know you all existed. And I was so excited to finally find so many friends and truly just this community. You've brought me so much. And I wanted a way to continue to connect with you guys, and just started to have fun with it. So some of it was just posting photos like from those events, and some of it was posting pictures of the store displays, because I love the Hallmark store and we're there all the time. And then it was just having fun with reels, and it just kind of grew from there. So from attending different events like the Hallmark Christmas experience in Kansas City to going to Christmas Con again, it was just allowed me to continue to grow my connections with you guys, which I guess therefore grows an audience. And you guys actually had come to me and said, like, why don't you have a podcast, or why don't you have this and that? And I had always kind of toyed with the idea. I just wasn't really sure if I had something unique to contribute. So this was honestly just kind of a leap of faith to start Crown Chats. It was something I'd thrown around in my mind a lot. I would love, like, ideally, if I could ever work for or with Hallmark in any way, would love to do like a talk show like this, where I'm actually sitting across from a person, kind of like a late night style, or we could like let's go do carpool or Crown Chat karaoke or something. Let's go do some funny skits, or I would love to do like red carpet interviews or behind the scenes interviews, either on set of movies or at these kinds of events, and just being able to showcase the people and the product that I love. And that's a lot of what Crown the Halls is. And it's just about spreading that love and joy and that the community that we're all part of. And we all want it to be the best quality, and we want it to be a reflection of who we are, what we're going through. And so this is just kind of a way to share that all.
Hey Haley, it's Aiden. So my question was, like, before you hit the record button, what do you talk about with your guests, and how do you sort of talk to them and sort of set them at ease and just basically get to know each other before you start filming?
Thank you, Aiden. How do I make my guests comfortable? So it kind of depends on who the person is, because for some of them we've met in person, like a Cindy Busby or a Benjamin Ayers, people like that I've been fortunate enough to meet at either the Hallmark Christmas Experience or Christmas Con. So this isn't our first interaction, but for many of us it is, other than just a quick message online. So if it's someone I already have rapport with or have met, it's we kind of know each other, so we end up talking about our dogs or our kids or just kind of just life in general. And so that's a pretty easy way to just segue into the interview. And for the ones I haven't met, it's a lot of just, for everybody. I just thank you for your time. I'm very appreciative of this, and just do a rundown. And same thing, a lot of times if we're parents, we end up talking, like Paul Green and I talked about our kids coming to find out that our two youngest are the same age, and so that was kind of just fun to banter about, the fun things they're going through at that age. And but yeah, I'm always, again, I just appreciate their time and respect what they do, and I usually just give them kind of a rundown of, hey, here's what we're going to chat about, as long as all that's good, there aren't any permission issues, and then we go from there. And then a lot of times we end up kind of chatting afterwards too. If they are a health and fitness person, that usually, like Christopher Russell or Andrew Walker, Paul Green, that somehow we get talking workouts and supplements, and just because, we're health nuts and kind of nerds on that, so that's, sidetracking. So if it's not family or our dogs, it tends to be like health and wellness.
Hi Haley, it's Angelique. What advice has a Hallmark actress or Hallmark actor given you that has stuck with you?
Thank you so much for your question, Angelique. I love this. Wow, best advice. The first person that comes to mind is someone I know that you and I both love, Miss Cindy Busby. And hers was that there's always something to be grateful for. She's huge on the power of positivity and how having a positive mindset really shapes how you approach everything in life. And it's from the simple things of, I had warm coffee this morning, or I had a bed to wake up in, to I did get that opportunity, or I made it home safely. Like everything throughout your day, the little things we maybe take for granted are the things we need to be more focused on appreciating. And therefore, that just helps shape how we approach, and can overcome the difficult things that come up in life, because we can always, in the midst of a storm, that you can still find something to be grateful for. I also loved the advice from producer Andrew Gernhardt, and his was that you just appreciate the time that you're in, because sometimes we dwell too much on the past and it impacts us in the present. Or we're so fixated on the future, which we can't fully control, that we kind of overlook what it is we're going through. And we, especially now being a parent, you realize how quickly time passes and how precious it is. And so the more you can soak up the moments and the magic of and miracles of everyday life is so important, and especially during the holidays, as he's pointed out. And I think that's part of why we all love these movies, is because it does kind of cause us to pause and appreciate the love and joy all around us. I would also say Andrew Walker had some great advice as well, which was just to be open to love, and to not just accepting love, but being love in the lives of others. And I think that's a huge message for these movies as well, because Hallmark is where love happens, right?
Hi Haley, it's Courtney. My question is, who would you love to see star together in a Hallmark movie for the first time?
Thank you, Courtney. I love this question. Wow. A pair I would love to see together. There are a lot of pairs I would love to see together again, but that could be a whole separate episode. The top one that comes to mind, because they are two of my absolute favorites, would be Andrew Walker and Brooke Dorsey. I think that would be an on-screen match in heaven. The other one, so Heather Hemmons is one of my absolute new favorites, and she's done, I loved her with Luke McFarlane, I loved her with BJ Britt, and she's done a wonderful movie so far. But I would love to see her with Benjamin Ayers, or maybe even Christopher Palaha. So Heather Hemmons with Ben or Chris, and then Andrew or Brooke.
Hey Haley, it's Amy. My question for you is, how long have you been a Hallmark fan now? And what is your absolute favorite Hallmark movie to date?
Thank you, Amy. And this should be a simple question, and yet I feel like it's going to be the most difficult to answer. So I have been a Hallmark fan my entire life, or as long as I can remember, not just of the brand, but of the store. So like a huge Christmas tradition in my family was that every Christmas we went to the Hallmark store and bought a brand new ornament. We got to pick out whichever one we want, as gaudy as it was. My mom didn't care, and we got that on the tree. And we always had a little bin that had all of our ornaments in it. And I carry that tradition on with my son now. I get to take him usually in the fall when all the after the ornament premiere is, and I let him pick out whichever ornament he wants, and it's always fun to see what he selects. So I love still having that little Hallmark love in our holiday season. And in terms of like growing up, any celebration, a birthday, graduation, wedding, anniversary, we were all about Hallmark cards. And so not only just receiving them, but that is always what we gave away to others. So that gold crown seal stamp has had it is like embedded in my mind. That has been a huge symbol for me throughout my whole life. Hence crown the halls, that's part of that. But it just always represented love and celebration and class and quality and joy. And I think that's very much what has carried on into my love for Hallmark Channel, because it represents all of those things as well, from family to celebration to love and just connection with everybody. And Hallmark Channel, so I always knew there were Hallmark Channel movies, not to date myself, but they had VHSs at the Hallmark store of some of the Hallmark Hall of Fame movies growing up. And I remember we had one, it was called What the Deaf Man Heard. I want to say it was Matthew Modine who stars in it. I have to double check. I know Frankie Muniz plays the young version of him in like the first part of the film, so that's funny. But we had that one on DVD, on VHS. And then when I really got into Hallmark Channel was from the movie Let It Snow with Candace Cameron Bure. And I just remember she had promoted it on social media. And so I was like, oh, okay. Like, it was holiday season and we were home. I was like, I want to tune into this. I just want to see what this is all about. So it's her and Jesse Hutch. And I was hooked and watched a few more from that season or within the next year, and had no idea that like so many of the actors and actresses that I loved growing up from different movies and TV shows, like Lacey Chabert, Jonathan Bennett, Alexa Penavega, Bethany Joy Lenz, were in all of these movies. It's like, wow. And so from there, my love just grew, because I found all my other Hallmark people that I loved, and I found all of you. And okay, now the really hard part. Wow, favorite movies. Oh my gosh, it's like picking a favorite child. Luckily, I have one child, so that's okay. Favorite movies. I know I'm going to leave so many off. The ones that are coming to mind, if I just rapid fired, like Three Wise Men and a Baby, Biltmore Christmas. I love Christmas in Love with Frick Dorsey and Daniel Lissing. Oh gosh, Marion Bright, Bottled with Love, Chasing Waterfalls is one of my go-to comfort movies. I've watched that one, I can't even tell you how many times. I'd have to look. I honestly, if I looked at my Hallmark Plus list, it would tell you like which ones I've watched the most, and it would probably be from there. Love the Groomsmen trilogy. I love a lot of the Aurora Teagarden mysteries. Love the Curious Gator mysteries as well. There are so many I'm leaving off right now. Cranberry Christmas is a great one. It just kind of depends. Like, you're looking for like holiday movies, getaway movies, they kind of have one for every season. But those are the ones on the top of my... I know I'm leaving out so many, but I think those are pretty strong answers. And that wraps up another episode of Crown Chats. Thank you so much for joining me on this fun special edition fan Q&A. If you like us changing it up, let me know. I would love some feedback, topic suggestions, or more questions to answer in the future. And in general, if you love what you're seeing on Crown Chats, please be sure you are subscribed and like this YouTube channel. And of course, follow me, Haley, at Crown the Halls on Instagram. And don't forget about our sweet summer styles with Dressing Festive. You can find the merch link for that here in this episode, and of course, in my Instagram bio. So until next time, wear your crown. Your crown may tilt, may it never fall, but you are beautiful and you are strong.